Hello guys, once again, my name is Sparky Hippie, and today we're going to be talking about the top 10 games of this decade, 2005 to 2015. This is a great decade for gaming, I think, and games have really taken a step up over the last 10 years, and this is overall my list of my favorite games from 2005 to 2015. Now, if your favorite game isn't on this list, please don't be mad at me. But anyway, we're going to start with number 10. And at number 10, we have Call of Duty World at War. I know a lot of people don't like Call of Duty games because it's usually the same crap every single year. But I think this game deserves this list, this spot on this list. Because overall, the storyline was gripping. The campaign was actually really good. Alright? So as a single player game, it is great. I think this was probably one of the best multiplayer Call of Duty games, or even one of the best multiplayer FPS games. I actually think this was a good game. Also, I think that the zombies mode was great. You know, the zombies was really amazing.
Do what I say.
But yeah. Anyway, let's get into it a tiny bit more now. So as you can see, we're playing some zombies, and zombies in this game is revolutionary, and if you enjoy FPS zombie games, then you have to pick up Call of Duty World at War. Well, here we are in the amazing campaign. This game actually has a decent campaign, good characters. It also has a decent plot to it. Of course, between like every second mission, you're going to be kind of switching between the American campaign and the Russian campaign. But overall, I think this was probably my favorite Call of Duty game for storyline, and even just talking about it now just makes me want to replay the game. It has a lot of good Easter eggs, and overall, it's a great game for single player. And if you enjoy single player FPSs, then you have to get this game. So this is Transformers War for Cybertron. For some reason, I actually didn't want to add this game to the list. I don't know why. I just didn't want to add it, but I had a good think about some of the good games, and I kind of thought, you know what, this is actually a good game. Yeah, I played Fall of Cybertron, but for some reason, I just didn't enjoy that game as much as this one. This is a game I first played when I got my PlayStation 3 back in 2011. Actually, probably the first game I played on my PlayStation 3 when I first got it. So I think that this game is pretty decent. It has modes like Escalation, as you're watching here, which is like a sort of zombie survival, but in Transformers. So yeah, overall, this is a pretty decent game, and if you like Transformers, if you're a fan of Transformers, then, and you're also a fan of FPSs, then you actually have to get this game. It's pretty good. So we're here on multiplayer, and I must say that this game has really good customization on multiplayer. You can customize your character's guns, his appearance, you know, you can change his colors, or you can change his body type. You can also change his abilities, and you can also play as either an Autobot or a Decepticon, of course, that is chosen for you when you enter a match. But overall, this game is pretty decent. I think it has much better multiplayer than Call of Duty, any Call of Duty game. I actually think that way. So yeah, this is a pretty good game. You can trust me on that. Well, here we are in a multiplayer match. As you can see, the multiplayer is pretty decent. It's kind of similar to the Call of Duty multiplayer, you know, guns, running around a big map, and just, or actually, kind of just running around the map and shooting at your enemies, you know, getting kills. That's all really, but it's a pretty decent game. I mean, if you're a fan of multiplayer games, then you should get this one. Although I'm not sure how the servers are doing at the moment. I actually haven't played this game for about a month, so I'm not sure. I mean, last time I was online, there was about 200 players online on PlayStation 3, which is pretty decent, I think. It's pretty good. I think that would actually be good enough. You know, you can still get into a match and play and enjoy. So yeah, overall on multiplayer, this game has no issues. No issues. So really, what is there to say about the single player? The single player is great. The single player campaign is amazing. If you're a Transformers fan, you will really enjoy this game. You can pick it up and play it for a week, and I can guarantee you that you will love it. There's a Decepticons campaign and an Autobots campaign. Overall, the storyline is brilliant, and overall, I'm a Transformers fan, so I loved the storyline. Of course, it's just simple, sort of running through corridors, you know, killing your enemies, you know, running through checkpoints. But it is a good game in the single player aspect.
And what could you possibly...
So as I said, there's also the Autobots campaign, and the graphics are stunning, and so yes, I've just explained that this is a perfect game, and I do think that this game definitely deserves the number 9 spot on this list for just being so purely brilliant. So yes, my advice to you is, if you see this game in the shop and you love Transformers, you love FPS games, and you really want a game to just have fun in, then get this game. It's great. It is perfect. The only
secure way to communicate is by messenger. I volunteered. Name's Bumblebee.
Ratchet, this on...
Before we start this game, I just want to say, if you get paranoid after getting scared, or if you really dislike jump scares, I mean, just viewer discretion is advised for this one, because this is a horribly scary game. But if you love horror survival games, then this is the type of game for you. So just listen up. This game is called Outlast. You might have heard about it, or you might not have heard about it, but it is fucking scary. It is impossible to play this game without getting scared for the first time. It is just impossible. This game is horrible, and it has extremely scary jump scares. But the jump scares are not even as worse as the time when you get chased by fucking monsters. Oh god. And you have to hide in fucking tables and behind fucking chairs and things. It is just the scariest game I think I have played in my whole life. Even scarier than Amnesia, and I think this game really deserves this list, because the creators of this game did an amazing job. So for number 7, I chose Team Fortress 2. And you might ask me why. Because it just looks simple. It's a multiplayer game, it looks extremely simple, but no, you are wrong. I think this game should be way higher on the list, because it is so brilliant. It is amazing. It is just a lot of fun. I love playing this game, okay? I just love playing this game. As you can see, I'm not really a noob, it's just these are some bad, unlucky shots of mine, whatever, but I actually really love this game. I mean, the amount of content, like every single time they release new hats, new weapons, and you just want them. Every time there's just, the multiplayer is great. My favorite thing about this game is just the amount of replay value for a free to play game. So much you could do. There's so many hours and hours of fun. I've put almost 400 hours into this game. So you can imagine I am loving it. So overall, Team Fortress 2 for me becomes the number one free-to-play FPS game, in my opinion. So yes, but on this list it's only number 7. Although I would like to give it a bit higher up, but I just can't because of this game. Because of this game, I cannot give Team Fortress 2 number 6 or even higher, because this game is amazing. This is Fallout 3. It was developed by Bethesda, the same company that made the Elder Scrolls games. And just before we move on, I'm going to say, yes, there is an Elder Scrolls game on this list. And if you do maths correctly, it's from 2005 to 2015, leaving Morrowind out and only Oblivion and Skyrim in. So you could probably guess which one is the better game. Of course, some people might like the more unexpected game to be the better one, but no, that's not the way it is. You can probably figure out which game it is, but Fallout 3 is actually an amazing game. Okay, so you play as Lonely Wanderer from Vault 101, whatever you want to call him in the, whatever you want to name him. You escape from your vault to find your father, who had escaped before you, and you are launched into a huge world that you know nothing about, right? And you're actually playing in post-apocalyptic Washington, D.C. and the area surrounding it, but it is actually a very good game. It is a sort of, I guess you could say, survival RPG. I know a lot of people say it's an FPS, which is absolute bullshit, because how could you say that? This is an RPG. It's obvious. And it's a free roam game as well, and there's just so much to find. The NPCs in this game are amazing, and overall I think that this game definitely deserves this spot on the list. But along the way on your adventure, you will encounter a lot of enemies, a lot of ghouls, a lot of great moments, and overall, Far Cry 3 is a great game. So for number 5, we're going to put another great game on this list that I actually think should be a bit higher up, but I'm only going to put it at number 5, and that is Tomb Raider. It is a good game, right? It is just a brilliant game. The combat, as far as it goes, is great. You run around a huge free roam open world. There are boundaries, but really this is a perfect game. I know I never enjoyed the older Tomb Raider games, I never did, but this is one of my favorite games of all time, and my top 5 favorite game of the last decade. So, and if you are willing to get this game, are willing to try it out, I definitely recommend it. I say that you will have a lot of fun, and the characters are great. The storyline is great. It's just I can't even express it. This is the ultimate game for me. But number 4 was something that I enjoyed even more. Guys, for number 4, I had to put Crysis 2. There's no other game that I would put for number 4. Actually, I think I should have put this game as number 1, because this game is absolutely perfect. It has everything a good game needs, right? It has a great storyline. It has excellent, perfect graphics. You actually, even now, you need a very beast monster PC to actually run this game at 60 frames per second at ultra. I only play this game at 40 to 50 frames on ultra, and you know my rig's not that good, but yeah. So if you have a good PC, right, us gamers with good rigs know that this game is not just, you know, a super powered benchmark to test whether your PC is a high-end or a low-end PC, but it's also an enjoyable experience. It's also a really fun game, a really, really great game. It just has really good characters, right? Really, really a very memorable storyline that really captures tension. Great combat. I think that the cloak works really well in this game. The stealth works perfect. As you know, I'm a stealth gamer. I really like stealth in games. So yeah, this game could easily be my number one, but after thinking very difficultly, I kind of thought it's a perfect game, but it's only getting number 4. Guys, Skyrim is number 3 on this list. I'm not putting this game any higher, and the reason why this game is number 1, like most people probably expect it to be, is simply because I don't think that this game is good enough to be number 1. I think this game was way overrated. I think the people who rated this game just overrated it. You know, actually, I mean, I loved this game, right? If I never enjoyed this game wouldn't even be on this list. But I loved it. I mean, the mods, the what would you say? The combat, the campaign, single player, the missions, the quests, the side quests, the amount of content in this game, right? It was just great. The NPCs, the characters, everything else. Combat, there was different ways you could go into combat. You could go in stealth, you know, if you had a assassin sort of class. If you were playing as an assassin class, you could go with magic if you were playing a mage class, and if you were playing a warrior class, you could just go and slash your sword at your enemies. But you could also mix together like different classes, and the races in this game were great, so I think that this game really deserves it. So my second game on this list, like it or not, is GTA 5. I think this was a good game. I think Rockstar absolutely outdid themselves with this game. I think that the graphics were good. I played this game first on PlayStation 3 and then at PlayStation 4, and now I'm just waiting for the PC version, the PC release of this game, because it just is going to be amazing. Like, I love this game. If this was a game list from 2004 to 2015, I probably would have put San Andreas on this list, because I actually enjoyed San Andreas way more. But this is a great game. Great characters like Michael, who is a family man. And you know, you really feel, once you play the game, you really feel connected with the characters. You know, I can't play a game if I don't feel connected with the characters. But I think that a game has boring characters and overall just horrible characters, I just can't enjoy it. But this game was just brilliant. It had everything we love from the GTA games, and it perfected everything that GTA 4 did wrong, and added a lot of new features. Also, as far as the storyline goes, as I said, there's 3 characters. There's Franklin, as you can see here. There was also Michael that I just showed 10 seconds ago. But so the storyline is sort of, Michael is a family man, and you know, he lives with his family, but he's unhappy. Franklin, on the other hand, is a gangster, and he lives in downtown Los Santos. You know, it's sort of like the whole Compton, you know, kind of gang thing. And he just wants to make money. He just wants to, you know, become bigger, wants to make money. And he meets up with Michael, and you know, they start doing crime, and the whole game just goes on from there. And it's just so good in storyline features. It is just an amazing game for storyline. Now I'm gonna talk about the multiplayer
I ever tell you about
and
Trevor?
some other things in this game. You know, like the destruction.
Real hillbilly type
You know,
shit.
I remember back before GTA 5 was not even announced, and people were already making speculations about what the game was going to be like. And, you know, people saying, imagine if there was, you know, a huge destructive environment, but that never really happened in GTA 5. That just never happened. But the online was amazing. I mean, this is one of my favorite characters, Trevor, as you can see him. But,
What is wrong with you?
he's a crazy mental character, you know, whatever. And so, the multiplayer, the online was perfect. You could kind of, you know, buy your own apartments, do jobs with your friends. It was definitely much better than the multiplayer in GTA 4, and I think it was definitely improved. It's kind of like the San Andreas multiplayer that you have for PC. It was sort of like that, but it was great. I loved it. So my favorite game of the decade is actually Dragon Age Inquisition. Okay guys, argue with me all you want. I know a lot of people are going to hate on me and they're going to say that Origins was a better game. I simply don't think that way. I actually think Dragon Age Inquisition was a much better game. Yeah, the PC version was badly ported. I will admit, that is a problem. The PC version of the game was extremely badly ported. The controls sucked and everything like that, but you know, everything's kind of patched now, so it's more comfortable to play. But even if the controls were bad, and even if the game was kind of buggy, and even though I actually had a lot of stuttering, I couldn't handle this game on Ultra with my rig, I actually still enjoy this game a lot, and I think this is a much better game than Origins. I think this game is just way better. I loved the characters, the combat. You know, the characters were amazing. The free roam, I think they outdid themselves with the open world this time. I think that the open world this time was just perfect. The dragons, the camp, the single player, the whole plot of the story, and then there's the twists and turns, and it's just crazy how amazing this game is. And if you love RPGs and you just want to play the best game, or at least what I recommend, or at least what I think is the best game of the last decade, then you just have to play this game, because this is just such a great